Have you ever pondered over the creation of Earth, our home planet? It all begins with a theory that has stood the test of time, a theory that has become the cornerstone of our understanding of the universe's inception, the Big Bang Theory. Around 13.8 billion years ago, in a moment of cosmic brilliance, our universe was born. It was a singularity, a point of infinite density and heat which expanded rapidly, leading to an outpouring of energy and matter. As the universe expanded and cooled, matter began to coalesce, forming the first atoms, then stars, and eventually galaxies. Amidst this cosmic dance, a particular cloud of gas and dust, a nebula, was set in motion. This nebula, rich with the remnants of dead stars, was destined to become our solar system. Over the course of millions of years, the nebula underwent a process known as gravitational collapse. The gas and dust within the nebula began to pull together under its own gravity, forming a central mass. This mass would eventually ignite to become our sun, the heart of our solar system. But what about the Earth? As the sun blazed into life, the remaining gas and dust began to form a flattened disk around it. Within this disk, small particles began to stick together, forming larger and larger clumps. Over time, these clumps became planetesimals, and then protoplanets. One of these protoplanets, through a series of collisions and accumulations, eventually became the Earth. It's important to note that the Sun played a crucial role in this process. Its immense gravity kept these forming bodies in check, preventing them from hurtling off into space. Moreover, its heat and light provided the energy necessary for the eventual development of life on Earth. So, the Earth was born, an infant in the vast cosmic nursery. Now that Earth had formed, what did its early days look like? Let's delve into the early eons of our planet's history, namely the Hadean and Archean eons, to find out. The Hadean eon, named after the Greek god Hades, was a time of intense volcanic activity and meteor bombardment. It's not hard to see why this eon was likened to hell. The Earth's outer shell or crust was still forming. It was a fiery, molten world, inhospitable to life as we know it. The Earth's crust cooled over time, with the surface solidifying into a thin veneer. This process was far from smooth, however. Frequent asteroid impacts would often remelt areas of the crust, creating a patchwork of solid and molten regions. The oldest rocks on Earth, found in western Greenland, date back to this tumultuous era. Then we move on to the Archean eon. This is when the Earth began to look more like the world we know today. The crust had cooled enough to allow the formation of the first continents. These land masses were not the familiar shapes we recognize now, but rather a series of small, scattered islands. But the Archean eon was not just about rocks and land, it also saw the formation of the first oceans. As the Earth's surface cooled, water vapor in the atmosphere condensed and fell as rain. Over millions of years, this rain filled the basins in the Earth's crust, forming the first seas. It was in these warm, mineral-rich oceans that life first took hold. The earliest life forms were simple, single-celled organisms. There was no oxygen in the atmosphere yet, so these organisms likely relied on chemical reactions involving iron or sulfur for energy. So, from a fiery, inhospitable world, Earth had begun its journey towards becoming a cradle of life. The stage was set for the evolution of increasingly complex life forms, which we'll explore in the next scene. But for now, let's marvel at the resilience and adaptability of life, which found a way to thrive even in the harshest conditions. From a fiery, inhospitable world, Earth had begun its journey towards becoming a cradle of life. Life had taken root on Earth, but how did it evolve from simple organisms to the complex life forms we see today? The evolution of life on Earth is a fascinating journey that has been unraveled over billions of years. It all started around 4 billion years ago with single-celled organisms, the first form of life. These microscopic beings were largely anaerobic, meaning they didn't need oxygen to survive. They thrived in Earth's early harsh conditions, setting the stage for the evolution of more complex life forms. Over time, a remarkable event took place. Some of these single-celled organisms evolved into multicellular organisms. This was a game changer in the evolution of life, as it allowed for a greater complexity of form and function. Each cell could now specialize in a particular task, increasing the efficiency and survival of the organism. The first plants, resembling today's algae, began to emerge around 1 billion years ago. These photosynthetic organisms played a crucial role in transforming Earth's atmosphere, producing oxygen through a process known as photosynthesis. This oxygen-rich environment paved the way for the evolution of more complex forms of life. Around 500 million years ago, the first animals appeared in the ocean. These were simple, soft-bodied creatures. Over millions of years, they evolved into a diverse array of species, from fish to reptiles and from amphibians to mammals. The rise of mammals in particular marked a significant turning point in the history of life on Earth. Mammals brought with them a new level of complexity. Unlike their predecessors, mammals were warm-blooded, had hair or fur, and most importantly, they nurtured their young, ensuring the survival of their species in a way that was unprecedented. The evolution of life on Earth is a testament to the tenacity of life itself. From single-celled organisms to the rise of mammals, life has found a way to adapt, survive, and thrive in the face of numerous challenges. The stage was set for the arrival of a species that would change the Earth like no other: humans. Humans have shaped the Earth in unprecedented ways, but how did we come to be, and what has been our impact? Our story begins around 7 million years ago with the first hominids, our early ancestors who were just starting to branch off from the chimpanzees. A significant step forward came with the evolution of Homo habilis around 2.5 million years ago. These early humans were the first to use tools, a leap that set the stage for more advanced species like Homo erectus and eventually Homo sapiens. Fast forward to around 200,000 years ago and Homo sapiens, that's us, first appeared on the scene. With our superior cognitive abilities, we began to shape the world around us in ways no other species had done before. We mastered fire, developed language, and began to create complex societies. Around 10,000 years ago, we took another major leap with the development of agriculture. This led to the birth of civilization as humans began to settle in one place, build permanent structures, and form complex societies. This was a turning point as we began to shape not just our immediate surroundings, but the entire planet. Our impact on the Earth has been profound. We've built cities, domesticated animals, and cultivated vast tracts of land. We've harnessed the power of the atom, ventured into space, and decoded the secrets of life itself. But this progress has come at a cost. Our activities have led to deforestation, pollution, and climate change, threatening the very ecosystems that sustain us. And so, as we stand on the brink of the future, we must confront the reality of our impact. We have the power to shape the Earth, but with that power comes responsibility. We must strive to balance our pursuit of progress with the need to protect and preserve our planet. Despite our achievements, we must remember that we are but a small part of Earth's long history and future. We've journeyed through Earth's past, but what about its future? What lies ahead for our home planet? As we look to the future, the Earth is on the brink of significant change. Climate change, brought about by human activity, is likely to reshape our world. Rising sea levels could submerge coastal cities, while inland areas could become uninhabitable due to extreme heat and drought. Scientists predict that if we continue on our current path by the end of this century, global temperatures could rise by 3 to 4 degrees Celsius. This would result in a drastically different world from the one we know today, with more frequent and severe weather events such as hurricanes, floods, and heat waves. But it's not just climate change that will shape Earth's future. The fate of life on our planet also hangs in the balance. Biodiversity is declining at an unprecedented rate, primarily due to habitat loss and pollution. If this trend continues, we could lose many of the species that make our planet so rich and diverse. Looking even further ahead, in about 5 billion years, the sun will enter its red giant phase. Its outer layers will expand, possibly engulfing the Earth. This will mark the end of our planet as we know it. However, these future scenarios are not set in stone. We have the power to change the course of Earth's future. By reducing our carbon emissions, we can slow down climate change. By protecting habitats and cleaning up pollution, we can preserve biodiversity. Our home planet has been around for over 4.5 billion years. It has weathered meteor impacts, ice ages, and mass extinctions. And yet, life has persisted. The future of Earth is uncertain and largely in our hands. It's a reminder of our responsibility to this planet that has been our home for millions of years.
Thank you so much. Guys can subscribe to my channel to watch similar videos to watch the video.